How we doing today, guys? Sam and Alex with this week's fishing report for you guys. Your mindset is probably on the white perch, and it should be. I mean, fishing's
Hmm.
great whether you're fishing on this side or the other side. Your big areas on this side are going to be like Waston's Corner and Beechwood Park, and then if you push over the other side, Greensboro and Tuckahoe, all those areas are in their full swing right now. So just a small shad dart or a small jig underneath of a bobber is going to do you just fine. We have been getting in some grass shrimp, which is great.
Oh yeah, good bait.
That's probably your most popular bait. If you can't get a hold of it, other scents work just fine when they're schooled up like they are real thick right now. Other than that, white or
Rockfish.
rockfish
Yep.
just finished up right now, but that's not the end of the world because there's a lot of other stuff to do. A lot of other stuff. So, Alex, what else is there to get
So
into?
right here through the Chesapeake watershed, we got, especially this time of the year, we got a lot of opportunities to go after some hickory shad. I know there's some people that are religiously into that. Other than that, we're gonna have blue cats, which obviously we need a lot of help to get rid of those things.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big thing that people are gonna spend a lot of time doing, especially throughout most of our local piers and state parks around here. But also besides that, there's other stuff to do, and we'll get that to a little bit later on our freshwater stuff. But for you guys doing the whole shad run right now this time of the year, those fish are starting to get up to the upper parts of the rivers. And when we talk about these shad, there's hickories. Certain areas we might get some Americans, and the best spots to always start off with will be a little bit south, and that's going to be the Patuxent River, uh, all the way from Jug Bay all the way up to Crofton. There's going to be plenty of areas in that area to park on the side of the road, walk down the river, and catch a few, little spoons. The busting bait stingers are great, either on a single jig head or a tandem. And if you're working those areas, like Sammy was mentioning, you can also catch perch.
Yeah.
You can also get some white perch mixed in. So there's going to be a lot of different opportunities to, get out there and catch different species. But other than that, another couple spots that we're going to mention is, I know you went fishing there, which is Red Bridges, right?
Yeah, Red Bridges. It's that kind of time of the year for sure for that area. And we're starting to see a couple of shad. It's definitely not in the full swing, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
really in the full swing anywhere quite yet, but we're getting there, especially in this upcoming week. It looks like we're still going to have some steady warm weather, which is going to help bring those fish in a little bit. So if you go into Red Bridges and you're targeting shad, I wouldn't go to Red Bridges. I go just a little bit south on your way over there and stop at Greensboro because they're going to pass through there first before they get up to Red Bridges. And you're also going to run into White Perch there too.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff to do over there. Like I said, shad aren't in full swing yet, but you can still find them if you want to take a little bit of a walk and really start, really slowing down with them. But just another week or so, they're going to be full
Yeah.
blown.
And, myself, I was over in the Potomac classic spot, which is Fletcher's Boathouse, and we got into a good amount of them. I'll probably say myself landed roughly about 20 of them. So, like you said, there's days out there that you get probably 100 plus fish. So this is the beginning, so that will get pretty red hot here in the next few weeks. Other than that, blue cats, Sammy, what
Yeah.
do we do for blue cats around here?
Well, you can do just about anything you want to do with them. Whether you could get out there on the boat and fish any of the mouths of your river, or you're stuck to some landlocked spots
Hmm.
like Mattapeak or Sandy Point, there's plenty of blue cat fishing to be had. As far as bait goes, it's always great to have some of the fresher stuff like fresh LY. We have that freshly frozen, and we're going to be getting some fresh in here shortly. That's a great bait for you, but really anything you want to put on the bottom. Bait shrimp, we have that as well.
Peelers, I heard do
Peelers
well.
are great. I'm a big fan of mullet because mullet freezes very well, so it chunks up great. So if you can't get any of the fresh bait, mullet's another good bet for you too. So there's tons of options for those, and we just got in razor clams, which do great with them too.
And one thing I've been playing around with, how we always talk about, obviously catfish will bite about anything, is if I have some of that old frozen bait in the house, I've actually used some Procure
Yeah,
to just mix it in there and give it a little more scent, and that seems to work pretty well with some of that old bait, just to give it a little more kick, right?
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so yeah, that's going to be one of the big things here. Remember, guys, they're invasive species, so keep them. They taste great.
They
They're going
taste
to
great.
be great fish to eat, and they're pretty much pretty nice long fillets, fat fillets, so you can get out of those things.
Yeah, and they freeze great too. So if you want to stock up the freezer and maybe slow down on harvesting some stuff in the summer, you'll have catfish all through the year for you. So
Yep.
that's a great bet for you. Probably pushing over to some of the. Oh, I guess let's touch on pickerel before we go
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. Pickerel are starting their spawn. They're getting really fat. And as far as targeting those fish, the same areas we were targeting before, maybe just start pushing up to a little bit further. So if you've been catching them really well in a specific creek you're fishing, maybe start pushing up to the headwaters of that creek. If you've been fishing on the main stem of a river like the Magothy or the Severn, maybe start pushing up towards the mouth of the, or not the mouth, but the headwaters of
Headwaters,
those.
yep.
So they're in there for sure. Same tactics we do before. They're kind of in a pre-spawn mode, so you can certainly catch them on some faster moving baits, bigger baits right now if you're looking for those bigger fish. So bigger fishing is still great.
Let's move on to freshwater stuff. There's one thing a lot of people have in mind right now, and that's snakehead. And obviously, there's been people catching them now for a couple weeks. Remember, it's really depending on water temp, but right now we're getting to the steady water temperature, getting pretty high up there in the middle of the 50-degree mark or even 60s, depending on where you are. And that's either Western Shore, Eastern Shore. You just got to get in shallow. And there's plenty of people catching right now. Now, this upcoming week, it looks like there's going to be a few days in the upper 60s, 70s. So that's going to be your best time to get out there and throw all your typical stuff. I mean, I even heard of some guys even catching them on those warmer points of the day, some topwater already.
Yeah.
So every single thing that you kind of throw out there during the summer, you can throw right now, and it will work. Just got to wait until it warms up a little bit.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind with your lures is we all love to catch them on topwater. It's the most fun way to do it, but it's not something you're going to want to be doing all day long this time of year. Our water is still cold. Fishing any of your moving baits subsurface, whether that be paddle tails, meps, spinners, all that kind of stuff, those are great to have. If there's a time of day where you're out there where that water super warms up, that's when you might want to toss in a frog or something, just a few casts. But don't hold yourself all day to the frog because you might not have the best trip.
And other than that, I guess trout fishing, biggest thing we got coming up. I know there's some places that have that closure. They're about to open up this weekend and this upcoming week. So there's going to be a lot of people out there going for that traditional kind of start of that spring trout stocking season.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out your DNR website for all those details into what spots are pretty much going to be stocked, opening up, and just getting out there for some of those trout.
All right, guys. So that's probably going to wrap it up for us here at the shop. We thank you guys for stopping by. There's a ton of stuff to get into, so good luck out there.
Have a good one.